McDonald's has entered a Minecraft movie universe, and Grimace, Birdie, and Hamburglar just spawned as new collectibles as part of a Minecraft movie meal with your choice of Big Mac or 10-piece chicken McNuggets with spicy nether flame sauce. Participate in McDonald's for a limited time. A Minecraft movie only in theater.
Mobile phone companies say they offer home internet. But if their internet comes from a cell phone network, you should know. It's just phone internet, not home internet. Keep your home up to speed with Cox. Cox Internet is faster and has more reliable download speeds than 5G home internet. Cox is the real home internet you're looking for. Based on Cox analysis of Ookla speed test intelligence data Q3 2022 and Cox serviceable areas, visit cox.com/internet for details.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy David with Black Wealth Renaissance, and I'm here today to tell you guys about Anchor. If you haven't heard of Anchor, it's the best place to make a podcast. Anchor is a free app that has creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast straight from your phone. Anchor also distributes your podcast across all major platforms, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and many others. You can also make money on your podcast with Anchor with no minimum listenership. Anchor is everything you need to make a podcast in one place. So if you're looking to get started on your own podcast, download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm.
Do you know the rules of the game? Yeah. If you know the rules of the game, I don't care what color. Can you make me 100 million? Let's talk money. Can you make me that? If you can't make me that, I don't want to talk to you. You shouldn't even be at this table.
Hey, I got money on my mind. I'm just trying to get some dough. I ain't picking up my line unless it's money on the phone. Gotta get it on the daily. All I want is dubs. You know what I'm on. I've been chasing after paper. All I know is run money marathon.
Do 5 years of this and be a millionaire and go on do what I want to do, have kids, go live my chip and joy in the games life out here in Texas, or struggle for the next 10 years. The choice is yours.
What's up, guys? Welcome to the Black Wealth Renaissance Podcast. Our goal of this podcast is to normalize black wealth and share helpful resources and tips we believe will be useful in attaining and maintaining generational wealth. Please feel free to rate and comment on our podcast. We would love to hear all feedback you have. Now, enjoy the show.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Black Wealth Renaissance Podcast. Your boy, David BWR, 1/4 of the Black Wealth Renaissance. Checking in with my co-hosts. Fellas, how y'all feeling?
What up, what up, what up? It's your boy, Jalen here, man. Another quarter of the Black Wealth Renaissance. Man, checking in, feeling great, man. Excited about tonight, man.
What's going on, everybody? It's Kelly here. Checking in on a great Thursday afternoon. Watching a little bit of the draft while getting ready for this great podcast, though.
What's good, y'all? It's your boy Jared checking in. Man, I heard some sad stuff. Y'all know I'm a Cowboys fan. And I heard that man Jerry said he don't even want to talk to nobody. He just making all the decisions tonight. So I'm not even watching. We gonna rock with it how we going. I'm excited for the podcast tonight.
Oh, sorry about that, man.
Sorry
that you're a Cowboys fan.
Hey.
But anyway, man, we're going to get to the point that we try to get to. Man, we got a great episode tonight. We got some brothers out of Baltimore, residing in Delaware now.
Doing dope work. Got
man.
a dope platform themselves. The host of the Corporate Coke and Smack podcast, Josh and Tobe. Josh, Tobe, how y'all feeling, bros?
We're feeling great, man. Thank you for having us on. It's been a long time coming, definitely. But, we had to make it happen, whether it was draft night, you know what I'm saying? We here. So thank you for having us on for sure.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you for having us on. If you guys don't know me and Josh's relationship, he's the person who's always out in the public. I'm the one behind the table, getting stuff done. So I'm excited to kind of, show my face on a different platform. So, let's have some fun.
Hey, man. Yes, indeed. Thank y'all for coming on, bro.
Yeah, it's about to be a special one.
Yeah, I know what it is. It's Josh F., a.k.a. Josh D. Lifestyle. Checking in with BWR. We're going to have a good vibe. Make sure I stay tuned.
Of course. You already know who it is. The two's always got to sound a little different. It's your boy Tobe, a.k.a. one half of Corporate Coke and Smack. And I just want to shout out everybody who's listening. And thank you to the Black Wealth Renaissance Podcast for having us.
For sure, man. So look, man, we just gonna dive right into it tonight. We're not really gonna give we can't get a backstory. So how did you two get hooked up and linked up, man? And then we gonna give up our story, how we got linked up and hooked up, bro.
Hey, you want to tell it or you want me to tell it?
Because I give a slight backstory.
I'm gonna tell the raw story.
Okay, I'm gonna tell the overview, and I'm gonna let Toby get into the chapters. But long story short, we have a mutual friend, Mark. You know what I'm saying? He overcame some trials in his life, but we met at the wedding party, whatever it's called, the bachelor party, and we was like, "Yo, you live down the street from me." You're like, "Yeah," and then we see that we had a mutual interest in finance, investing, things like that. And we was like, "Yo, I like to talk. He like to talk." I'm like, "Let's let the world hear our voice." So that's how Corporate Coca Smack came about. Oh, the name. People always ask how the name come about. So the name came about. If y'all don't know, Lil Scooter, R.I.P. Lil Scooter. He was a Baltimore rapper, well known. He was really putting on for the city. He got a song called Bird Flu. You can go check that out on YouTube. But he's saying, selling scrambled coke and smack. I mean, that's that raw. But we was like, all right, we're going to give it to him from a corporate level. So that's how Corporate Coke and Smack came about.
Hey, I just want to say, I met this gentleman it was my friend Mark's wedding, but I met this gentleman and they introduced him to me as Slick, okay? So before Mr. Josh Ave, before Mr. Josh D Lifestyle, his name was Slick. So when I heard that name, I was like, all right. So they had some food sitting out and they had some liquor sitting out. So I was the first person to get up and he was the first person to get up. I'm like, a nigga named Slick, first person to get up, see the liquor, first person to start eating. So I was like, all right, I can relate to him. But then we started talking and he had a good financial acumen. So I was like, okay, he's a smart guy too. And then we found out we both had history growing up in Baltimore and we lived like 10, 15 minutes away from each other, if that. So we just, after going back and forth, we was like, yo, why don't we start a podcast? And we've been rolling ever since then.
That's dope, hey, bro. Man, that's dope. Hey, question. Whenever they told you this man's name was Slick, you was like, I don't know, I'm fucking with this, man. I ain't gonna lie. Somebody tell me this man.
Hey, look, all I'm gonna say is, it's not too many niggas named Slick I trust. You feel me? So you tell me somebody's name is Slick, I'm like, all right, I gotta watch my back with this guy.
Oh man. So yeah, we wanna find out the same about y'all. How did BWR get founded and created? Because I know a little bit about you all. You all went to different colleges, I believe, a couple of you all. So how did you all form, your coalition?
So, BWR really kind of just started out as a Instagram page with me and Jared. So this is David speaking about it. I know there's a bunch of different voices on this podcast. So Jared, Kelly, and I were roommates in college. And we were all like getting closer to the end of the college time. And we really started getting interested in business. We took an interest in business and finance and all this stuff. So we started like little side hustles here and just started flipping stuff there. And like, we just really started hustling. And then like with that, we tried all kind of shit, bro. We tried influencer pages. We tried drop shipping stores. We was selling plates out the house. Like we was doing all kind of shit. We was just hustling, but we didn't really know nothing about financial literacy. So like come fast forward after we graduate, like, we got this inclination. Jared, his book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And like, he distributes it among us and it kind of like sparks that financial literacy bug in all of us. So like now we like, okay, cool. Let's get ready to get rolling with this financial literacy thing. Like, man, there's some crazy information. Like, why the hell they not teaching us this shit in school? Like, I've been in school 23 years of my life and I ain't never learned none of this shit. And it's way more important in terms of like all that. So a couple months went by and eventually Jared and I, we started the page, started getting some traction with that. Then after a little time, Kelly, he also wanted to start a page. So he hopped on with us, and Jalen been my best friend since 8th grade. So we were trying to do wholesaling at the time. At the same time, we were starting up this. BWR really started getting traction right around the same time we got scammed.
Yeah,
that's a whole other story. We got scammed wholesaling.
Hey, was the person named Slick who scammed you?
Nah, his damn name was Donald Thompson.
Fuck Donald Thompson, man. But Jalen hopped in, and I mean, from there, like, just been doubling up and growing.
That's just a real brief overview, fellas. Y'all got anything to add?
Nah, bro. I just want to say, like, we was able to work at it. Like, in the beginning of this, like, I need you to keep in mind, it's me and David, we down here in Louisiana. Jared is living in, like, the Pacific Northwest at one point in time. Like, he's at one point of this. Then he moves to Nebraska for another part, and you got Kelly out in West Texas. So it's like we spread out throughout the country. But it's like we just like, man, we got to get this shit popping. We got to just keep on working. And like he said, as it just kept on taking off.
McDonald's has entered a Minecraft movie universe, and Grimace, Birdie, and Hamburglar just spawned as new collectibles in the overworld. Now for a limited time, you can get one of 6 McDonald's collectibles when you order a Minecraft movie meal. Ooh. With your choice of Big Mac or 10-piece chicken McNuggets with spicy nether flame sauce. Available now in a biome near you. Oh, and at your local McDonald's. I participate in McDonald's for a limited time. A Minecraft movie only in theaters.
I was like, damn, this teamwork shit, we kind of really making this thing motherfucking happen, bro. Yeah. So, and once we realized, like he said, while they was trying shit in school, I'm trying shit in school too myself. And like, I'm selling plays too. Like I pulled up, like there's this one weekend, I rented a barbecue pit. I pulled up outside of the party and I'm selling like some little pork steak sandwiches. Like I'm trying to get it popping for real too, bro. So we all had that natural inclination, that natural hustle to us. But once we all just clicked up and really just started holding each other accountable, we was able to get some shit. Yeah, we was able to get some shit cracking.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie though. When I had first heard Black Wealth Renaissance, I thought it was, when I seen the word Renaissance, I thought it was like some older cats on this John. I'm like, yo. Then I was like, all right, it's some young brothers getting to it. I'm like, all right, I can dig it. And then, like I said, I seen, all your social media information and how your platform grew exponentially so quickly. I was like, all right, I can rock with them. So man, that's huge, man. I'm glad to know y'all. I'm glad to know. I met Jerry already. Yeah, I met.
I think you met almost all of us in Sacramento, except for Dave.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Sacramento was crazy, man. That was a great time too, bro.
Yes,
hey,
sir.
I'm curious though. I'm curious. You guys talked about a lot of hustles you guys have had, and I'm curious, what are some of the craziest hustling gigs? As long as the statute of limitations is up. What are some of the craziest hustling gigs you guys held down?
I think one of the best ones was the parking gig, man.
By far.
Yeah.
So we're me and Jared, and as David said before, we were all college together. We're all roommates. And Jared's mom works for the city or is part of the city government, right? Correct, Jared? All right. So she comes in one day and was like, we're actually Louisiana Tech is playing Mississippi State, which is a big D1 school. So we're like, all right. She comes in one day and was like, hey, there's a lot of hotels booked up. So it's a lot of people in town for this game. So we were like, it's a lot of people in town. We got room for parking. Let's see what we can do with this. So we started charging for parking. Originally it was like $10. I think it went up to almost like $20, $25. We rose the price. We even got the neighbor across the street to come with us.
Hey.
We split them in there.
Bro, we started selling parking that wasn't even ours.
Can I hop in for that portion?
Is that how your wholesale? Is that how the wholesale operation started?
Yo. So I go over to her and I was just like, hey, can I get your yard real quick? I know you want to make some extra money. Like she about to leave. I'm like, let me get your yard. I can pay you by, like $100. She was like, I see how many cars y'all got out here. Y'all got to give me more than that. I was like, man, we give you $10 a car. She was like, I got you. I went back across the street, bro, man, we going up. We upped the price and we just kept on rolling. Got extra space and I'm pretty sure we probably made an extra $200-$300 off a yard.
If not more, because then we sold plates and shit too.
I remember y'all telling me that shit though. Y'all was like, man, we just paid our rent this month off of this shit.
Nice. I don't know. I don't have any crazy hustling stories. I think the craziest thing I did, since I was from Baltimore, I went to University of Maryland, Baltimore County, and you had a lot of white students going there. So I knew a lot of spots that wasn't carding at the time. So I could just go grab liquor and they wouldn't ask me for ID. So I used to make runs. I was 18, 19, but I would just get people's money, tell them to pay me a little bit extra on the top, hit my little spot. I knew they wasn't carding. and just bring back liquor. So I was a liquor man, for
finesse.
a little bit.
Yeah, that's a finesse though. You realize the demand and you got the supply for the
Of course. Yeah.
That's lit.
So let's just get right into it, man.
Yes,
so
sir.
I just want to talk about the current state of the economy, because I know y'all talk about, like you said, the corporate side and everything. And I know the last podcast y'all put out, you was like the checks in and everything. Let's just talk about like these stimulus checks, and how do y'all think that this is going to play an effect, not right now, but down the line? Because I can see this, we're going to have to pay for this down the line.
Yeah. Hey, Josh, I'm going to let you tackle that first.
Yes, sir. I would say, man, it's really getting nutty out here, for lack of better terms. The money machine is very, very busy. I hope they got a cooling on it, because that thing is running 24 hours, 7 days a week right now, the way they dropping these stimulus packages. But, it's a tough time that we're going through right now in terms of kind of, I won't call it like a bio war, but, the reason behind the state of the economy right now is, due to science and biology. But long term, this is going to have effect for a few years, because you got to think, as of this week, it was like 26 million people that have filed for unemployment. And you got to think those jobs just don't immediately come right back, because now that we're going through what we're going through, businesses are going to adjust their procedures and their operation to kind of fit this new way of life, or this new quality of life. So you're going to see a lot of corporations and companies who might, if they don't default, they're going to do away with some of their real estate, the commercial real estate. So you may see more people work from home, things of that nature. You're going to see, as society advances, with automation, that's going to cost a lot of people jobs. You already see it in the call centers. People don't even think about that. The call centers, that's a large, like just speaking generically, that's a large employer. So that's going to cut a lot of jobs. But yeah, where we're at right now, it's going to be tough. Like I said, I'm grateful just to still have my job, and I work in wealth management. So that's definitely a need. So, I need y'all to keep getting rich, keep the wealth management folks busy. But that's how I see it. That's just my short summary, but it's going to definitely be a few years before we actually see the new way of life, because it's never going to go back to the old way.
Yeah, I agree for the most part. It's a popular aphorism that says, it ain't over till the fat lady sings. Lizzo been singing for a little minute. So I really feel like we've been running on poor fundamentals for quite some time in the economy, right? And right now with the stimulus checks, you're propping up the economy on something that's really weak. We're going to run through these stimulus checks. You already got people losing their money on Cash App. So we're going to run through these stimulus checks real quick. And then we're going to be back to, all right, we're looking for help again. So I think what you're going to see right now is Q1 really was only impacted by late March, because Q1 from January to March, coronavirus really started making headlines like late March. So you're going to see earnings season right now. I think you're going to see favorable results. People are going to come out, they're going to beat their estimates, but then you're going to really start to feel it when it comes to Q2, Q3, and the rest of 2020. So I feel like, yeah, them stimulus checks was all right. If you could save some of that, please do that. If you can invest some of that, please do that. But I really think we've been propped up on news. Every single headline that comes out, oh, hey, they talking about a new bill. You see the market going up. You have so many companies that they don't have enough cash flow to last them 3 months. You want to talk about individuals, oh, where your savings at? You got people that can't pay their leases. You got people that if their operations ain't bringing in cash flow, then they can't pay their interest expense. So you're going to see a lot of companies who just can't stand the rain. Yeah.
That's some big facts.
I heard Walmart got TVs on sale in case anybody looking to spend their stimmy money.
Oh, man. No.
Hey, we're going to get into that too.
Hey, man. But like that kind of made me go to talk about what Tobe was saying, that poor fundamentals thing. Like you saying how companies running themselves with poor fundamentals. We talk about personal finance a lot, and we always we all on that personal finance and responsibility tip. So how do you think it is that these businesses were able to scale so large, being bad at money management?
When a woman has a sugar daddy, she knows he's going to come to the rescue. So a lot of times you got the government who's coming in and saying, okay, I'm going to rescue this industry. I'm going to rescue that company. So one thing is you have a lot of dumb companies who aren't learning from their mistakes because you have people coming in to bail them out, so you got a lot of companies that's looking at it like, okay, what's the consequences? Even bankruptcies. Bankruptcy is only a shield from paying the people you owe. So you can still operate business, you can go bankrupt and then you come back out and people act like nothing ever happened. One that I remember, nobody has talked about this, but I remember I saw True Religion filed bankruptcy again, and they're going to come back out again. They filed bankruptcy more than once, so it's like you have all these shelters in place that favor some of these companies saying, okay, you know what? I can just default on this, come back out, and it really isn't that many consequences. On a personal level, if you go bankrupt, your name is tarnished for like 7 years. A company could say, hey, I'm going to file Chapter 11, and I'm going to protect myself from having to pay all these people. And then I'm going to just come back out when coronavirus is gone. Or I could just, make sure I'm getting some type of help from the government while I'm doing this and just come back out and be fine.
Man, you touched on some points that I've wanted to dive into. Like, even with, like you said, the people that's coming out and getting the help. I was reading an article earlier this week. It's like more publicly traded companies that collected this relief money than it was at small business.
Sir.
Yeah.
It's like, damn, bro. And David was telling me there was somebody on CNBC. He's like, hey, man, we just doing what we got to do to survive. Like, not giving a damn.
Like, they was like, hey, man, you taking all the money from the small business. He was like, look, we've been gainfully employing people for 13 years. We're going to take as much money as we need.
I mean, it's really ruthless out here. You know what I mean? It's like the corporate streets is kind of like the streets. I mean, it's a dog-eat-dog world, unfortunately. So, I mean, you go out here and you're not strapped up. You know what I'm saying? You might get caught slipping.
But, and I want to speak to the power of business too, though. Like you said, if you file for bankruptcy through your personal name, you fucked up. But people don't understand why we say, hey, it's better to start a business just because of so much protection that you can have from starting a business. Like, just if you read Rich Dad Poor Dad, he explains to you why corporate structures and corporations is like the wave to go. One, you're being taxed at a much smaller rate. Like you just said, if you fuck up some shit, if you really go down south, you can file bankruptcy and come right back out if you know how to do it right. So just starting a business, that shit's crazy. Like, so much of the advantages that you get once you actually start adding value to the economy.
In total, you playing by a whole different set of rules at that game, at that point.
Yeah, and I think sometimes people look at barriers like skin barriers, right? When you operating just as yourself, yeah, you can see some skin barriers, but when you're operating as an entity that the other person, the other white guy also has his LLC, now you're saying my LLC versus your LLC, my corporation versus your corporation. You kind of skim down on some of those barriers, those skin barriers. So it's a lot better to do things as a business for sure.
And speaking to bankruptcy, you look at, the president, he's filed bankruptcy, a few times. I mean, so that just goes to show, like, you can bounce back. It's not your name, it's the business name that's really on the line.
And I kind of want to go back to, like, the sugar daddy. Like, so why do y'all think that it's not true capitalism in America? Why does the government always step in to help certain sectors so it doesn't become true capitalism?
Man, that's deep. That's deep. Honestly, I say it's a favor for a favor. Like, I'm going to help you out so you can help me out as well. And I think the government itself, they know what it's like to owe a ton of money and not pay, because you look at our deficit right now. So it's almost like America has this culture of, hey, just charge that, run that up real quick. Oh, yeah, we'll take care of that later. So I think it's just the nature of the beast in America, for real.
Yeah, and I will also say, if you look at actually what the government provides, they lean on private companies more than, the ordinary citizen knows. So they look for private companies for agriculture. I mean, I would say like probably the only thing that they don't lean on private companies for is like, military or, defense. But even defense, I mean, they lean on, Northrop Grumman, Lockheed Martin, companies like that. So they definitely need these companies for sure. And like Toby said, I mean, you gotta, benefit them in some way. So, hey, we're going to bail you out. We're going to worry about this. It's like credit card. It's like what some people do with credit cards. Swipe and worry about it later. And that's essentially, what they're doing.
Yeah, and plus they're trying to prevent contagions, because one industry, if you have a big player in one industry failing, that could then prompt another industry, another big player to fail. So, I mean, the government really is they're trying to stop fires that, honestly, I think some fires are meant to burn down some stuff. You should see companies burn down when they do stupid stuff. Just like as individuals, you do stupid stuff, then, yeah, you in a ton of crap.
Yeah, that's deep. That's deep for real. Because, like you said, you see people doing stupid stuff all the time. They let them learn their damn lesson. So
not these businesses, though.
But
we need them to run that economy.
Right. And also, these businesses provide jobs.
Yeah.
And jobs is what keep businesses open. The economy runs off of people, off of consumption. So we need people to spend money. So it's like a big circle. You know what I'm saying? Like the little little triangle. It all just flows, keep flowing. You know what I'm saying? Like.
So would y'all agree with like some of the memes that's on the internet though, talking about America just a big ass country living paycheck to paycheck with broke ass businesses living paycheck to paycheck?
Nah, honestly, I would say it's more so the consumers. I mean, we see these companies that have big balance sheets and a lot of assets, but like we said before, is that they know what they can get out the government. So it's kind of like if you got some people, like let's just say less fortunate people have a rich family member, and they know that the rich family member is a very giving person. So as long as they go to them like, hey, can I get this? Can I get this? And they keep giving it to them, they enabling it, it's going to keep happening. So I wouldn't necessarily say the corporations are living paycheck, but it's definitely people around you that's living paycheck to paycheck. Shit, I don't know, y'all might be living paycheck to paycheck. Say nah.
Hey, I mean, honestly, I feel like you got to know the source. So a lot of corporations, they know where to get capital from, and I would agree with memes that say, hey, America's living paycheck to paycheck, because a lot of companies feel like, yo, if I need to tap into some capital, then I know where to go. I can afford to be lean and I can afford to not have that much cash. So it's all about, like, do you know where the actual source of your money is? And as individuals, you look at it, and most people, they don't know how to access a large amount of capital. And that's where, when you're living paycheck to paycheck, it's going to hurt. That's going to hurt. You're going to lose relationships. Your ribs going to be touched. It's going to hurt,
Mm-hmm.
Hey, the next time I need a loan, I'm coming straight to the Bank of Black Wealth Renaissance. I heard y'all, I heard y'all accepting 580 credit scores.
Ooh, 580? I don't know about all of that, my brother. I ain't even got a bank. You're right. We live paycheck to paycheck.
I want to ask y'all. So I know we're in two different regions of the country. So how are things in y'all region? Because y'all in the South, y'all like in Louisiana and Texas. So how have you seen things in your local communities?
I think the biggest thing here, like you got some people out of work. It's not as many people out of work because honestly, it's not that many people in Louisiana. Ain't that many jobs. But I think the biggest thing is really that school situation, man. You got a lot more kids out, and that's just like the thing that's been the most prevalent to me. Just making sure those kids, especially the ones that's not eating at home, because that's a thing too. Louisiana, it's a state with a fair amount of poverty, so you see a lot of programs like that around here. But for the most part,
yeah, you see a lot of people like giving out food and stuff like that. And I think another way that it's kind of been affected is kind of like more so like the restaurant industries, because we got a lot of restaurants here. That's kind of been affected by this.
I mean, shit, most of them doing pretty well. Like they staying open and people just driving up and eating.
I'm talking about like the mom and pops and stuff like that. Like more so like the small
business. Corner stores. Yeah, the corner stores.
Yeah, like the local restaurants and stuff like that. I've been seeing them not open, like Charlie's and other places around. You'll pass by, you'll be like, oh, damn, they're not open. So I just be looking at I've been looking at the local businesses. I'm like, damn, these people kind of are affected. And I know we was chilling by my house the other day. I heard the local government, they talking about, yeah, man, we're running out of money like a motherfucker right now.
Hey, I want to go ahead and shout out Louisiana, too. I was actually born in Louisiana. I don't know what my mom was doing out there, but, mom's living a crazy life. But found out I was born out there. I actually went back for the first time since birth, this past Mardi Gras. I was there at the end of February. And when I tell you I came back and everybody started talking about coronavirus, bro, I was scared, man, because I was running through them streets, man. Them streets was...
Yeah, and I ain't gonna lie, there's a lot of people who got sick, like, from Mardi Gras. because one of my friends, he's like a little, like an hour up north. He went to New Orleans for Mardi Gras. He actually got sick from the shit. Like he contracted the virus, and I was like, damn, bro. So, and I think that's where our largest problem with, because I know people see it online, like on the news and stuff. Louisiana's like so high. I do want to make this point. Like he said, it's not a lot of people who live in Louisiana. So per capita is going to seem like, oh my God, it's so many people having it. But it's really more so concentrated like around that New Orleans area. But then you have like some hot spots like in the northern part of the state and stuff like that. But once that Mardi Gras shit had happened, it's like you said, I know you saw how many people was out there. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
I'm in kind of a different realm with being in West Texas. So it's kind of different because of
you're in Mexico.
We're in West Texas, basically New Mexico. We southern New Mexico. But it's a lot of people that's worried because they've never seen, especially with the oil prices, they've never seen oil prices this low, or they've never seen oil prices go negative. You know, they don't know what that means. They're worried about the jobs. We did a lot of layoffs. So it's been hectic out here, especially with that, because a lot of rigs are also laying down to stop drilling. So it's going to be interesting to see how we come back from that oil crisis that we're in right now.
The NBA playoffs are here, and I'm getting my bets in on FanDuel. Talk to me, Chuck GPT. What do you know?
All sorts of interesting stuff, even Charles Barkley's greatest fear.
Hey, nobody needs to know that.
New customers bet $5 to get $250 in bonus bets if you win. FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook.
21 plus and present in Virginia. Must be first online real money wager. $5 deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expires 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See full terms at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
One thing I did want to throw in too, just about like Louisiana in general. Me and like David talk about it a lot. We got a running joke that like Louisiana is somewhat recession proof because it's like so much of it is already in poverty. Like
minimum wage still $7.25 here.
Yeah, like people talk about getting paid like $20 and stuff like that for an internship. I'm like, that's a great job here. Like anybody would want that job here. Like would fight you for that job. So like we're already in that lowest level. Like unless they go below $7.25, they can't hurt us.
Sheesh, that's crazy. That is crazy. I guess I'll give my experience in Baltimore. So, I mean, Baltimore is a wild, wild, crazy place, and we don't really obey any laws. So you still got people running around crazy out here. But I mean, in terms of the economy, I will say, right now, I'm looking for a home, and I mean, prices are still sky high right now. I'm not really seeing that much in the market. There is a scarcity when you talk about the amount of readily available homes out here. So, I mean, I think we're yet to really feel the effects out in Baltimore, honestly. I mean, people are getting laid off. You know, people, especially people who, you know, I guess you would say they're working jobs where you don't require any formal education. Like you're saying those people get impacted the most right now in Baltimore.
And yeah, where I'm at up in Delaware, I mean, this is the second smallest state. Where I'm at, it's pretty urban. The cases they've hit their peak here. I'm actually still going to the office a couple of days out the week myself, but my office split into 2 teams. So half of us go in for 2 weeks, then go work from home. Other half come in. So I'll switch off. But I mean, people still really have just been primarily work from home in that sense. But me personally, man, I'm still outside. You'll probably see me on Instagram and Twitter. I still be running. I still be biking. I can't be locked up in the house. I'm going insane, man. My hair out of control right now. Everything going crazy. So I know they've been saying that the CDC and the health officials have been telling people to stay in the house. But, you know, for that mental health purpose, at least, you know, go outside on your street and take a walk. Just get some fresh air because, you know, you wrapped up in the house. It's almost like solitary confinement, you know, to an extent. But, yeah, as far as the cases here, they've kind of tailed off. Anybody listening, just stay clear of New York and New Jersey, and you probably be good.
Hey, man, I'm with you with that staying in the house shit, too. I've been going outside, too. I've been fishing. I've been trying to kayak and all that. I've been trying to stay away from people, but I'm outside, man. I need to get in the damn sun.
Say, bro, I ain't gonna lie to you. As soon as you said something about Baltimore people not listening to the rules, the first thing I thought about was that video I seen on Twitter. We don't care about no curfew. We don't care about no curfew.
Yeah, man, it's crazy out here.
That's the real Baltimore, though. sad to say, man, that's the real Baltimore. You just gotta get it how you live.
Hey, keep it real though. Is anybody in relationships? How have your relationships been through this coronavirus quarantine? Are you sneaking out? Is she sneaking in? What's going on with y'all?
Oh man, I'm in a relationship with my girl. She like out of town. I stay in Lafayette. She stay in Dallas. So it's just a phone thing. It's a long distance. The long distance, it don't really interrupt none of that. You get to keep talking on FaceTime the regular. She got a lot more free time now though. I talk a lot more, but I mean, I ain't got none of that sneaking out and in.
I ain't got no relationship. I'm good.
Mine giving me the evil eyes over here. No, it's been good, man. It's actually really cool because normally she's in Louisiana, I'm in Texas. So it's been cool that she's off and she can come down here and be down here probably about another month or two.
Nice. She was looking at you, Kelly, like you better answer correctly. Hey, it ain't stopped nothing for me. Mine just been regular. Like she an hour away from here, so we just still be together and whatnot. I do be a little afraid though, cause like they got more cases where she at than I am, so I'd be like, you know what I'm saying? Well, who you been around? You might expose me to something.
What about y'all, gentlemen?
Yeah, no, I'm single, but I actually, I took a little opportunity. I'm not even going to front.
Look, you had to make that slide, bro.
You had to take that risk.
Hey, this is the time where, you get that, oh, he different. He wasn't on quarantine. He different. So I took a little opportunity. I'm going to leave it at that,
Hey, when that flight attendant say, "Hey, go back to your seat and put your seatbelt on," man, you call a little turbulence over here. But
hey, I kept my mask on though. I kept my mask on. That's all I'm saying.
My brother, you did not social distance.
Not at all.
Man.
Oh, dude, it's wild, bro. That's funny.
Shit.
Yo, so I want to ask y'all. So with the state of everything, how do you all see like your friends and people personally, not on social media? Like, do you see people taking this time to pick up new skills or learn things, or is everybody just like Netflix and is everybody watching the Ozarks and all the Netflix stuff? Because a lot of times when we talk about stuff on social media, sometimes we forget to put things in context, and of course not everyone's gonna have the same mindset as brothers like us, but all we can do is really encourage people to say, hey, this is what you can do to get out of your situation. Like me personally, I was actually talking to somebody I went to school with, and she lives like in a small town in North Carolina. And I was like, won't you spend less time, making IG stories and look for gigs somewhere? At first I asked, like, what do you want to get into? Break down what path you want to take. And then, all right, this is what I need to look at, or this is where I can kind of go to gain skills. So are you all seeing people like really using this time, advantageously, or it's like this is another vacation?
Man, this a big ass party.
This a big ass party out here.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. I've been seeing people having cookouts in North Carolina. I'm like, yo.
Bro, they having crawfish balls, barbecues, the kids not doing the schoolwork. It's not.
I don't see any type. Me personally, I don't see too many people being productive.
Like, well, it's one of those things too, like you was mentioning. We try to encourage people to do it, but like that's the part of the conversation that people never really enjoy having, in my opinion. Like they want to grow, but they don't want to do the shit necessary to grow. Like we, like you said, everybody's situation not the same. So like I seen a lot on the internet, the memes will be like, you can't tell people that they lack discipline for not coming out of the quarantine with a new skill because you don't know what their life like. But I'm sorry, guys. I just fail to believe this quarantine is just so fucking difficult for everybody, bro. Y'all out here, you can make 20 videos on TikTok. You can play on IG all day, but you can't take the time to.
It can't be that bad. Your phone bill is paid.
Yeah. That's a blessing itself.
Exactly. So, and I ain't gonna lie, I do see some people though. I see more people trying to get healthy right now. I do see people like.
I do like that. It is a lot of new fitness trainers that popped up.
Yeah, I see more people trying to get healthy and trying to work out right now. So I can't just say I don't see people doing shit. But as far as like the next flicks too, I have been having people telling me, you need to watch All American. You need to watch All American. Or you need to watch Tiger King. So a lot of people are watching more TV right now too.
Yeah, I also think you got like two sets of people. You got the people who they still working from home. They saying, yo, my days are just super long. And then you got the people who they offer their jobs, but they saying, yo, I ain't getting no money right now, so I'm depressed. But I just think, yo, you got to find a way to love yourself in this time, man. Like, I mean, if you truly love yourself, you're not going to let yourself just waste and just, watch Netflix 24/7. You're going to say, all right, you know what? I got a passion. I want to work on that. And I mean, look, unfortunately, you do have some people who they got symptoms, they trying to save their energy. They trying to make sure they take the vitamins and just stay healthy. So you got a mix of people, but as long as you love yourself, I feel like you're going to find a way to be productive.
Most
The
definitely.
bad thing is, there's like with unemployment, I've been seeing more people like trying to stay at home, not trying to find another job, or like trying to get laid off so they can get unemployment because it's like $1,000 a week.
Hey, that's crazy. Like you walk into work trying to get laid. I'm gonna try. No, I ain't gonna try that. I was just kidding.
Hey, wait,
That sounds crazy though.
For some people, they might make more on unemployment than they make for their full-time job.
Yeah.
That's the thing. That's a really big thing out here. That's crazy.
That's the real stimulus package. Unemployment plus food stamps.
Man, what? Living good, man.
Man. And then I heard they're supposed to like boost up food stamps like an extra 40%.
Yeah, because like you said earlier, the kids, they would usually get like breakfast and lunch at school. Now the parents got to provide 3 meals at home. So they had to up that. I'm like,
and then when you add the Cash App scams and Forex.
Oh man, hey, bro. All right, you got me on it. So I want to kind of pivot to we were going to talk about black culture at one point. I want to play this Forex shit into it too. So why do you feel like the black community seems a bit vulnerable to this Forex scam?
Not even just the Forex scam, even the Cash App scam bullshit.
Well, it come down to one thing. I just say this. It come down to getting rich quick.
I can see it too because people just want to flip that damn bread, bro. Like, people don't want to take that time into invest in themselves and really figure out what I got to do to invest, what I got to do to try to make this money, make it actually start working for itself. Like with the Cash App shit, I only got to put $100 in and I can get 8. Like, oh man, that's a flip. That's an investment. We literally had someone argue us on the damn page that the Cash App shit was a form of investing your money and wasn't a pyramid scheme.
If you listen to this at Josh D Lifestyle, I will get you right on the Cash App situation. DM me, DMs are open.
I mean, it's just, when you think about it, people start these new relationships and they love how it is in the beginning, but a strong relationship comes over time. It's the same with your money. You got to put in time. If somebody's going to sell you on a get rich quick scheme and you jump at that, I mean, you got to really think to yourself, okay, what's going to happen the next day after that, the day after that? Is this something that is sustainable? And I think when people see that dollar sign by whatever opportunity, it's kind of a reflection of where they're at in life, because, I mean, if you give somebody that's hungry something that is terrible in terms of nutrition, they're going to bite at it. They're going to say, yo, I need that. Give me 2 of those. Give me 2 of those little burgers or whatever you're talking about. I don't care what's in them. The same way with money. If you're talking to somebody where they ain't got no savings, they don't even know what a retirement account is, they have nothing to their name, of course they're going to look at something and be like, yo, you know what? I want to make it, and I want to make it quick.
I'm going to tell you, I'm going to just do a slight pivot off of that. That's why a lot of cats is doing the options right now. But that's all I'm going to say. That's why a lot of cats, they try and turn a little into a lot.
I have been seeing the option plays.
Right. And the option is it's called a derivative. It's really a complex investment product or vehicle. That shit not, I know people that hit me on my DMs, they want to know about options, but they don't even have a long-term portfolio yet. Why? Because they trying to get that quick dollar. They trying to turn that STEMI money into a mansion money.
Hey, I mean, options are the side chicks. And, people love these side chicks, man. So I look at options as, you got people who literally, they have that same mentality of, yo, I want to get rich quick, and I don't want to have, I don't want to have to study too much because, I mean, if you download Robinhood, you can buy an option in an hour. You feel me? Like, it's nothing stopping you.
Option. The first time I downloaded Robinhood, I didn't know what the hell I was doing, like most people who download Robinhood. And I thought I was buying a share or something, and I placed the option trade. Like that type of shit.
Hey, yeah, it's crazy out here, man. It's crazy.
That was,
damn.
Yeah, like 2 years ago, bro. Like whenever we was first, like, man, hey man, what's this stock shit, man? Let me see what's popping with this.
Yeah, but see the thing,
I ain't know the difference, and that, a lot of people get involved in it. Like you said, it's a derivative, and it is more complex.
The thing about Robinhood, you get on a platform, you think you playing Super Mario. It's so it's
like
so
colorful.
chill. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like when you go do an option, it's like, do you think the stock price is gonna go up or down?
It's like, well, I do. I think it's gonna go up. All right.
It's just this easy, up or down?
Right. Like pick a date. My birthday's coming up. Pick that.
Like, I think it's also because like a lot of people, especially with the options and shit, they really just advertise all the whole flipping of their money, the 200%, 300%. Is all you see when people are advertising. You don't see the 20%, the real money, where they money is, bro. Like that's the thing that I can't stand is that most people make their money off the 10 to 20%, but they show the fucking 20, 200%, and the 300%.
Bro, can I get like a 2-minute segment right now? I'm about to air it out.
Go with it, bro.
Dog, let me go ahead and rip you off. Let me rip the timeline right quick.
Yeah.
I'm tired of seeing, like you said, the screenshots. A lot of people, all you're doing is broadcasting new wins. We all know you do not hit every option, right?
Nope.
So like you said, you hit a 200% option, cool. You put like $100 on the line. You know what I mean? Like that ain't no big risk. So you got people who doing these lotto plays, and if it hit, they like you said, they throwing a screenshot of that. Yeah, you know what I mean? I turned 100 into 500. But like you said, in the grand scheme of things, that's not no real money. Salute you for making a profit, yes. But the way, like you said, that people advertise it, like it's easy and they hitting on the regular, it's not a lot of traders. It's like less than 10% of traders that really profit on the regular. So let's get that straight. And then also for the advertisement part, like I said, when people just advertising the wins, it's okay to show losses too. Like you gotta show that you gotta be authentic with it, because what happens is that's how everyone started trading options. People started posting all the W's, and then you know what I mean. People like, you know, I just use David, like you said, you went in the joint 2 years ago, like it's sweet, you know what I'm saying, and you didn't put the wrong, you didn't put the wrong thing in, or you know what I'm saying, you thought you was getting an option, but you was buying shares. Right, it sounds easy, and that's just the thing that pisses me off the most is the way that's advertised, easy. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, you got to actually know how to read charts, things of that nature, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, I ain't calling no names, nobody in particular, because a lot of people do it, honestly, you know what I'm saying? But I just think that we really need to, as a culture, we need to stop, you know what I mean, passing out the plates and teach people how to fish themselves, you know what I'm saying? Like the Forex joint, when they had the signal callers, if the signal caller disappeared tomorrow, they whole shit shut down. Whole shit shut down. They trying to hit left and right to each other. What we gonna play? What we gonna play? Because you're depending on one or two people for your, for your trade.
Yeah, you're not learning the fundamentals. Yeah,
right. You're not learning the fundamentals. That's why I always say, yo, you need a long-term portfolio before you hop into options, and that's just my skill.
Hey, I just want to say, stop playing with Josh, man. My man got the forehead veins popping out. When I say, I got to talk to somebody real quick, man. So stop playing with my man Josh, yo.
Nah, because, and that's another thing. That's like our fiduciary responsibility. If we want to be out here preaching financial literacy, we have to do it in a responsible manner. We can't be out here and say, oh, yeah, you can hop in this thing in a couple of weeks and be an options master. No, we don't go like that.
Hey, you know what I see? You know what I liken some of these options testimonies as? Fattening up the cow to get slaughtered. All right, you feeding up that cow, they're eating real good. They're like, all right, you know what? They're gaining weight, and you're going to get slaughtered. All right, so it's definitely important to show both sides of the equation. And, I mean, it's an option. Yeah.
Right.
I like how you just said that, though, like you fattening up the cow to get slaughtered. Because Terry and Matt and Ian were on a live last night.
They're legit.
And Terry was like, she's like, you know, I know traders that they only make money on options only 40% of the time.
Yep.
Like, and these are real life traders.
Yes. They
so you got some of these people who are just getting lucky. And like you said, they placing that $100, but then as they get lucky, they start building up their confidence. Now they start playing with more money.
And bad habits.
Man, I just lost $600. I just lost $7. I just lost $1,000. I saw this man on Twitter the other day. It looked like he lost almost $1 million fucking dollars, bro.
Yeah, you seen it on the Amazon.
I said, what the fuck?
Yeah, that screenshot on Robinhood, he lost like, I think like $700 or something crazy. But yeah, and I tuned into that same live yesterday. And Tara's exact thing she said, she was touching on how her account grew and then she lost that risk management and she got burnt. It kind of humbled her. You know what I mean? So, if cats out here putting 100, if cats out here so confident on these options and you so nice with it, why not put 1,000? If why you only putting 100? That's how I look at it. Like I'm not, I'm not saying they suck at it, but it's just like I said, it goes back to how it's being represented. If you so nice with it, then why you just putting this little 100? You know what I mean? Like I'll cash app you 100 right now and flip my shit if you so nice with it. You know what I'm saying? Like DM me, Josh D Lifestyle. If you nice with it, DM me, right?
I'm trying to teach some shit, huh? Hey, Josh, I do kind of want to hop into this with you. And so you touched on risk management. Y'all both in wealth management. So can we talk about proper risk management? What does that look like?
Yeah, I'm big on that. I'll start. So typically with options, like me personally and a lot of traders I know, and I'm more so like a swing trader. I'm not a day trader. But really options should only be about 10, 15% maybe of your total portfolio. So that's how I look at it. And then also knowing like when you're dealing with shares, knowing the quantity that you want to buy of a company, kind of knowing the price position where it's at and knowing what your target price is. So where do you see the stock going? And having a goal in mind. Hey, do I think you can get 10% and I'll hop out? And not just buying it with no goal in mind, because now you don't really know where you expected to hit. You know what I'm saying? And I see that a lot. Like people be like, oh man, it went up and then it just dropped on me. You know what I'm saying? That's because they was going for the gusto. They saw it pop up a little bit. They're like, oh, it's sweet. It's going to keep going. And then boom, if it hit the ground on you, like the first hill on the roller coaster. You know what I mean? Go up, come right back down. So yeah, I always preach risk management because that's like 1B to investing. You know what I'm saying? Like the financial literacy and risk management, they really go hand in hand because like you can know all the finances you want, but if you don't have that proper risk controls in place for yourself, you're really gonna be wild. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm gonna chime in too, and I feel like you got to know what set you rep. You feel me? You got a lot of people who it's like I'm risk averse, but I'm in options. You false flagging. You feel me? So you got to tell yourself, am I risk averse? Am I a risk taker? Am I risk neutral? And then your investments got to follow that strategy. And what you have with a lot of people, and I'm going to say advisors too, is they just, without even figuring out what quadrant their client fall into, they just say, oh yeah, I can make you this money. I'm going to just put you in this. And you asking the investor like, yo, so you like taking risks? Like, oh, nah, I don't really like taking too many risks. But it's like, look at your portfolio. Yeah.
It's like the risk management part, like you said. If you only can bench like 150, don't be in the middle of the party trying to pick up Lizzo. You know what I mean? Just because some Jodeci or some Trey Songz came on, you dig? Like you gotta know your risk tolerance, man.
Man, look, shout out to all the Lizzos out there, man. Because look, we got to show the big woman love. They still need love too. I just want to say that.
Yeah, no, it wasn't no shot. I'm mad at us on our podcast, man.
All these dudes, man.
It's just no. It's not
out here talking like this.
No, it's not against the big woman. It's more so just knowing yourself. That was the point.
Yeah,
yeah. And sometimes you don't have to pick them up; they can pick you up. You feel me? So it's vice versa. It can go either way.
Hey, it's really some boss ladies out here right now. A lot of them.
It really is, bro. It really is.
Salute to all the boss ladies, and we're not just talking about selling weave. We talk about credit repair, real estate, with the stock investments. They doing everything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. Really, shout out to the queens, bro. Definitely got to shout out to them because a lot of times they get overlooked for the shit that they doing. They really hold it down, and like you said, a lot of them really bossing up, man. Even like you got the CPAs that's doing crazy shit. You got a lot of women that's just really breaking out right now. They actually like the highest growing.
Fastest growing entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
And I think also the highest percentage of degree people. So
yeah. So it's like, hey fellas, don't come in thinking it's sweet. You know what I mean? Like
bring some shit to the table.
Yeah, because they're gonna
replace your ass. Right. She don't need your ass.
Yeah. Her name gonna be in the mortgage, not yours.
Ooh.
Real life though. So
she gonna hit you with that. This my house.
Yeah, right. Get out my house.
So, fellas, I do want to go to another thing that we had to talk about. I want to talk about teamwork and, like, first, how you guys work together and just the importance of teamwork and like reaching your goals?
Yeah, I say, I mean, it's difficult because we both have our hands in a lot of different ventures, but I think what worked for us was that we was geeking and wilding before we started the podcast, so we had this relationship where without talking about the podcast, I'd call him up and be like, yo, hey, I'm thinking about buying this house. Yo, what you think about this? He might tell me something crazy. He might say, yo, you need to chill. So we had a personal relationship outside of the podcast. So, I mean, the podcast is business, as much as we, joke and laugh and have fun, it is business. But the personal relationship outside of that really helped us in kind of helping this team be successful. And I mean, another thing is just being upfront. If you need to reschedule something, yo, call me. It's a difference between you sending me a text and being like, yo, I can't do this versus you calling me and saying, hey, yo, I got to work on this, so maybe we can do this later. So, we just respect each other. I think that's the biggest thing, too. You got to respect who you're working with, because if the respect isn't there, then you'll find yourself doing things and feeling like, you can get away with that when that other person is on the other end saying, yo, this person is really taking me for granted. So we just had a lot of respect for each other.
Yeah, I would say the biggest thing, like Toby said, really the accountability part. Like, it's been a couple of times where, I fell short of some stuff. He called me out. I made a quick adjustment. You know what I mean? So I think the accountability part, and also like building a network in the sense that we both been able to bring, different guests on the show. That's made it possible for me to interact with people that he knew that I didn't, and then I brought people on that I know that he didn't. So just from a sociable standpoint, that's helped. And then, like you said, just on a personal level, I mean, if you want to call me up and talk about stuff, like I don't get the specifics, but he's called me up a couple of times about some shorties. He had to get a second opinion. Hey, I don't get specific. He had to get a second opinion. You know what I'm saying? So, like you said, it's really just on all levels, from business to just having recreational fun to just personal brotherhood. Honestly.
This episode is brought to you by Shopify. Upgrade your business with Shopify, home of the #1 checkout on the planet. Shop Pay boosts conversions up to 50%, meaning fewer carts going abandoned and more sales going cha-ching. So if you're into growing your business, get a commerce platform that's ready to sell wherever your customers are. Visit Shopify.com to upgrade your selling today.
Hey, man, I told you I'm working on something. Y'all don't put me out there like that, man. What you talking about?
Oh, nah. Toby's good guy.
You got clean it up on aisle 3, yo. Get out of here, yo.
Nah, that was a good guy, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, and I want to talk to it from like our standpoint too, like with the teamwork. Like I said, it helped us with even growing this page and everything. But like y'all said, the accountability part is like the biggest. Because I know David, he'll call us, or like Kelly, they'll be like, man, what y'all doing? Like, we need this done or whatever. Or like, hey, man, why we didn't do this? Or whose job was this to do that? And you got to step up and you got to be like, oh, man, I fucked up. I didn't do it. But that also makes you a better person, because you're like, now I got these guys, like, they leaning on me to get this shit done. So I can't be like a little dickhead and not fucking do it. I need to pull my own fucking weight.
Yeah. Yeah. And like you said, like, a lot of times, honestly, when people don't do things, it's not even ill intent. You know what I mean? We all have, outside of your group, Black Wealth Renaissance, I'm sure you all have some individual stuff yourself. Mm-hmm. So it's only 24 hours in a day. Sometimes stuff slips your mind and it's an honest mistake. But, it makes you feel good when you know that your fellow brother can call you out and it's like no animosity. It's like, all right, it's real rap. Like, yo, in a sense, like, thank you for correcting me. You know what I'm saying? That's really what's wrong with a lot of people, a lot of youngins out here now. They don't have nobody to correct them when they do wrong. So it's like, I'd be appreciative when he called me out. Like, I'd be like, all right, bet. Like, you ain't gonna whip my ass, but thank you for telling me I messed up, though.
I think a huge part of that is you gotta have respect, man. It's a way to come at somebody, and it's also the respect part of it. Like, you don't come at them, hey, man, you did all this shit wrong. Why the fuck you ain't do this? Why you ain't do that? It's like, that's not, it's not necessary. Just come at them at a standpoint where, hey, man, we got to get this stuff done. It's got to get done whether we like it or not. It's got to get done.
Yeah, I agree.
I definitely agree with that. And, like, even with that accountability portion, like, if you get the right people around you that's trying to help you and keep you accountable, then, like, that'll definitely make you a whole lot better as a person, in my opinion. Like, even for example, like, we brushed over it briefly with the beginning, but with, like, our intro, I held at least them two right there with reading Rich Dad Poor Dad, and they didn't want to read it. I pestered them. Like, you read that book yet? That was a good book. Read that book yet?
Right. Like over their shoulder. Sure. Yeah. Over their shoulder every step of the way. What chapter you on? Then eventually you gotta give them a deadline. I think that's like the best form of accountability is a deadline. You don't get no better than a deadline.
And we still do that now. Like as moving forward, there's like we'll select books and shit to read together. We'll be like, hey, bro, did you read that damn book yet? Well, what chapter? What was this chapter talking about?
Talking about? Yeah.
You can't fucking spark on it, bro.
Because, it's easy to be like, yeah, I read that. It's always easy to agree. You ask somebody, yeah, you did this? Oh, yeah, I did that. Oh, how'd you do it? Oh, where you at? You got to ask those questions, and then you start catching people in their lies.
Yeah, I think also like something special that Toby and I we do, outside of just a podcast, is we're involved with a mentoring group. So that also allows us to give back the little brothers or the next generation, in a sense, behind us to really be a positive role model. Because, unfortunately, some kids or some young men who don't have father figures in their home. So, every month, we sit out a couple hours or 2 or 3 hours, one Saturday out the month to really meet up with these young men and just talk to them. And we talk to them about everything real. I mean, we talk about finances. We talk about anger management, like real relatable topics that they're going through as like middle schoolers and high schoolers. I mean, we had one guy, he had gotten some legal trouble. Unfortunately, luckily, he beat his case. But, what I'm saying? He had gotten to some legal trouble. So we was just fortunate for that. But we kind of just showed them guys like, hey, jail don't have no age minimum. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can go in there any age, honestly, if the offense is bad enough. So I really like mentoring, and I definitely encourage, anyone listening, if you feel like you're a role model, what I'm saying? If you're out here selling the options course, then you can be a role model to, some young men in your area who may not have that father figure, definitely.
Hey, that's real shit. Definitely give back and sow into the younger generation, man. And I think that's one of the biggest reasons why we started this too, because we saw like we didn't want the shorties to grow up. Because I ain't gonna lie, I think like that's probably one of the most reasons why this time is kind of turbulent for like our community. Because I feel like our OGs, some of them, they fucked up along the way, bro. Like they didn't really take people by the wing like they were supposed to. Because I know a lot of times we'll say, we wasn't taught this information, but that's bullshit. Because there's sometimes where people did teach other people this information. They just didn't pass it down to us. They didn't hold up their end of the stick. So I definitely think that's something that we all got to be accountable for, is challenge each other to say, okay, how can you make this shit better for the next person? How can you sow into the person that's coming up behind you?
Of course. And I feel like the OGs also got to have patience too, because, unfortunately, some of the younger people coming up, I feel like we're in a community where everything is based on, is it memeable, right? So it's no code of ethics out here. It's just, can I make this a meme? It's a lot of money in social media, but it's coming at the expense of Black culture. So, in terms of OGs, you have an OG trying to tell a young person something. And me and Josh have seen it. We talk to the young kids and they be like, yo, you old, man. We ain't listening to you. But you got to keep on trying to reinforce that, because we're all one unit. If all Black people fail, nobody's coming out, without getting hurt. We all one people, and we all going to go down or rise as a unit.
And right. Yeah, I think the reason that you really got to keep it real with a younger crowd is because sometimes they may look at you and say, oh, he's older, he's not in touch. But, when you start telling them, oh, yeah, NBA young boy, and you start speaking their language, you know what I'm saying? Talk about different rappers and, different fashion trends and, different stuff, things they go through with, dating and things of that nature. Like, yeah, I've been there, done that. I think the relatable factor is really what helps, draw them in and allow them to want to listen to you more before, they have to go through an unfortunate circumstance or, go through, something legally to learn their lesson. So that's what we're there for, so that we get out in front of them so that they don't have to experience that.
Hey, I'm not co-signing NBA YoungBoy just to reach out to some people, man. I am not co-signing that, man, yo. You wildin'.
Hey, man. New kids love that young boy, man.
Yeah.
That boy getting his bag, bro.
Yeah, he in that baby bag, too. He got, 5 of them?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Hey man, but I want to personally commend y'all for doing that though, like the mentorship and stuff. That's really dope. Like making sure that y'all give back and everything, and like making sure that y'all, try to relate to those kids, man. Because a lot of people need that. They ain't have that.
Hey, shout out to the single moms, man. It's a lot of single moms who, they love what we do, So shout out to the single moms that's, dressing up, looking nice, dropping their kids off, We appreciate y'all.
I mean, definitely. But bro, honestly, like sometimes when I'm in there, it's like they're more so like little brothers to me. And I think that's really how I latch on me personally. You know what I mean? Because I look at them like the little brother that I may not have had. And like when you personalize the situation and, we have our moments where we goof off, we have like little intermissions between our presentations where we goof off and talk to them. Like I know Tobe, he gave away a copy of 2K. He rich. He gave away a copy of 2K to one of the kids. I'm like, these not even your real sons. You can away 2K, like, sheesh.
Wait a minute.
But that's how you get them though,
yeah,
bro.
Exactly, right. Yep.
You got a lot of people, they probably begging their parents for 2K. But if you say, okay, I bought you 2K, but this didn't even come out of my pocket. I use an investment to pay for this shit.
Exactly.
That hit them a little bit deeper.
What did they have to do to win 2K, Tobe?
What did they have to do to win 2K?
It was a reading contest, I believe.
Oh, no. So we've had different contests. We've had contests where I had a contest where I held out $20 and I told them to write out something that would persuade me to give them that $20. And that was an exercise to get them into writing out a professional resume, So I held up $20 and they basically was like, somebody came up there and was like, hey, I want this $20 because, I'm going to buy something for myself. Somebody came up and was like, hey, I'm going to use this to help my mom. Little things like that. I think the way the boy who won it, I think it was like a book contest or something like that. Somebody had to come up and you had to read a book or something. But we do plenty of little contests to simulate real life events that these kids would not do on their own. We just try to mask it, like we was talking earlier, put the medicine in the candy. Hey, I think I got that right. Medicine in the candy.
You got it right.
Yeah, exactly. Hey. Yeah. So we try to put the medicine in the candy and they don't even know what hit them. We do contests and then we like, yo, you just wrote a resume. And they're like, no, I didn't. It's like, no, you just did.
Hey, that's
cool, bro. I commend y'all for that, man. Keep on doing that shit, bro.
For sure.
Trying, man.
That's a fact. Yo, so I want to transition to something based on that segment. So what are some ways that you all think we're going to be able to fix financial illiteracy in our community?
I think it really, really always will start with just start catching people where they are. So it's like a lot of people, I think that's why they like BWR or anything like that comes to financial literacy with that real ground level, because so many people have such little understanding and a lot of them want to have understanding. We gotta start them somewhere. Like we don't want to spoon feed them. But the biggest thing to fix it to me is we just got to give it to them in them little bite-sized chunks, because not everybody is like us six on this podcast. Not everybody's going to like get exposed to that information and just be like, oh my God, I need to know everything. Like it just giving them that little nugget and letting them see how this information can benefit them versus really just like throwing it at them.
I think for me, like you said, is meeting them where they at. Like, you got to mash some of this pop culture. You got to mash some of this stuff that they doing with TikTok. Just like Tobe said, you got to put the medicine in the candy, bro. Even like with our parents, though, because I know with my parents, since I've been on this financial literacy journey, like, they start coming around more. Like, they'll start asking me questions and stuff. I think if you just start camouflaging the things that you say around people, start changing the narrative and changing the subject. Because I know with me, whenever my little brother riding with me, I try to hijack his mind. I'll be like, sometimes I'll listen to music, but then I'll be like, nah, fuck that. We about to listen to an audiobook. Because I want you to kind of soak up some of this shit. I want you to kind of get a different perspective of some stuff. But I don't want you to hear it from my voice. Because like you said, they might think, oh, this is just an old nigga. Or this is just my brother being tough on me. Or this is just somebody who don't really know. They see me from another outsider or whatever. But if you hear this from a whole another voice, somebody you don't know, and they put it in a whole different context to where it's really relatable, I feel like that has another effect on people.
Yeah, I also feel like you got to be bold in the different languages you speak, right? So for me, I remember it was a time where with my homeboys, we would only make moves and we trying to, you know, go out to the club, make moves with chicks like, yo, I got a move for us. But at the same time, I was sitting here, I was getting all this knowledge in finance, but I wasn't really stretching out to them that same way. So, you know, now it's like, yo, I got to play for you. Yo, I got to play for you. What you trying to do? You know, yeah, oh, what you thinking? And it's like, hey, there's this stock. Oh, there's this investment. And I'm bringing them in with the same language that I would use when I'm just trying to, you know, kick it with them, how we grew up. So it doesn't seem foreign to them. It doesn't seem like, because a lot of people, they don't like when they don't like to seem like somebody better than them is trying to help them because they feel like, oh, he's going to betray me. So, you know, when you bring your people and when you grew up with a certain type of people and you talk to them about certain things, it's like, hey, you could find a way to take some terminology and dumb it down for them, you know, feed it to them. And as soon as they start getting comfortable, they start learning and maybe they could reach out to more people in their circle. And then it just becomes this thing that just is widespread.
Yeah, I definitely think it has to be relatable and it needs to be digestible. Because I also have, like, my friends now are hitting me up, hey, what do you think about this stock? Hey, what do you think about this investment? Or even, like, my aunts are now hitting me up and, like, hey, I have a 401k, but can you explain it to me? Like, I don't know what I'm doing with it. I don't know what's going on. It's more of slightly giving them the knowledge and throwing it out there that you do understand, that you do know, and not just trying to force it down their throats that, hey, you need to do this.
I think another large part of it, too, is, like, showing people the possibilities, like, showing people what can be achievable. Like, a lot of people, when I'm talking to folks, you know, like, the other day I had a conversation with somebody about, like, dividend yield and stock. And they didn't know that they could buy stock that paid them, you know what I'm saying, let alone paid them on a monthly basis or anything like that. They're like, wait, hold on, I can even do that? And, like, so it's just, in my opinion, like what they said before and kind of roping it in, even with the purpose of, like, BWR and going all of that. It's like with the education, you know what I'm saying? Like, just letting people know what's going on and, like, all their different possibilities.
So how conscious are you of your delivery? Because in the past, on a couple of instances, I've been condescending by the way you may word some things. So how conscious of you are you just like, look here, you better take this game.
I ain't gonna lie.
That's an interesting thing, in my opinion. Like, that's a really interesting
like some
thing.
people, like you said, like some people, I guess it all depends on how soft or how tough, you know, how hard someone is in terms of their feelings. But I feel like if I'm trying to teach you something, I'm doing that out of kindness in my heart. Mm-hmm. So you shouldn't really take nothing, you know, in an offensive manner. If anything, that should just be a wake-up call, like, damn, I'm really, you know, down in the trenches. I need to get my act together.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, bro. I think the accountability tough talk route is a better approach. Not even really tough talk. Because to me, like, when it comes to being conscious of your delivery, a lot of the time, the way I look at it is people really just projecting themselves onto, like, whatever way you said it. Because you're not saying this shit with no malice in your heart, but they taking it with malice because they want to. So, like, I think that's a deeper issue with people versus yourself. So, like, I just kind of let that shit roll off my back. Because I know I done said a couple things on Twitter, put them on Instagram, and then people like, oh, he's an asshole, man. He probably ain't got no businesses. He ain't got shit. He ain't got no money. They're like, come on, bro. You don't even know me. This nigga lonely. I made it 3 times a day. I'm lonely. Like, goddamn, I'm trying to educate you.
Hey, shout out Xavier. Shout out Xavier Miller, because he be setting the timeline off.
Oh, man.
I love it. Regular basis. But see, I love it. And the thing about him is that he tells you based off real life experience. Like, he's not making up his hypothetical. Like, it's things that he messed up with himself or things he's lived, like, due to success with him and Deanna, you know, being in a committed relationship. So he really speaking from the heart. You know what I'm saying? Like, the one that always gonna resonate with me is when he was like, if you don't got 10K liquid, then you don't need to be bullshitting. And I've been telling all my friends that ever since. I've been like, yo, by the end of 2020, you need to have 10K saved up. I think I told Tobe that too. Yeah, I even told Tobe, I was like, yo, if you don't have it, because I don't know your finance person, but if you don't have it, yo, at least 10K, you know what I mean?
And that shit hit me. And there was another one. He was like, bro, my child already got 20 bands up. I'm like, you know what? That nigga made a whole lot of
And he just got 500 more off the stimmy package.
Hey, let me tell you, man. I almost unfollowed Xavier, man. I was looking at his tweets. I was looking at my bank account like, all right, man, I need to get this 10K. So I did get that. But in terms of just being condescending, I look at it as you got a bunch of picky eaters on social media, right? You got this big plate. You got the mac and cheese. You got the steak. You got the greens. They only want to eat mac and cheese. And they say, oh, hey, why are you being so? It's like, look, I'm on social media, and I'm giving you so many different things to pick and choose from. And you pick one thing, and you mad about it. I look at it as, hey, look, you can't please everybody. I've seen some of the stuff you posted, but I also know you, Josh. So sometimes when people come at me or anybody on here and they say, oh, this person sounds condescending, I'm like, well, if you choose to, look at something and only take that one thing into account, that's not my problem.
Right. Like you said, I mean, like when he said that, if a person don't have 10K, you know what I'm saying? They're going to be like, dang, like, are you trying to call me broke? But it's like, do you look at it negatively or do you look at it as a motivator? Like, hey, let me step my game up. Let me go back to my budget. Let me check my investments. You know what I mean? Let me see if I can maybe make a real estate play where I can get some monthly, cash flow going, where maybe I can get up to that 10K or 20K, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I think, what we do, we got to stick to what we do, and we really can't let the people who think we're condescending knock us off of our pivot. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just got to stick to our script. And the people who really want to learn and build, they're going to take it that way. You know what I'm saying? Or like I said, people who take it as condescending, well, they're going to stay broke as fuck.
Yeah. And you want me to tell you another thing I had to learn with this shit, too? I had to learn that our voice is not going to be heard by everybody, bro. Like, everybody not meant for the message that we're going to tell. Because, like, there could be somebody who put this shit in a whole nother way, and they're going to be like, that make fucking sense. But, like you said, we're going to give it to you raw and uncut. Like, hey, man, you fucking bullshit.
I also think, like, in my opinion, with the whole delivery thing, like, it's a mixed bag. Like, you have idealistic and then you have realistic. Like, everybody idealistically just wants people to just give them the information. They want it to be nice. They want it to be presentable and all the rest of that. But then it's like, watching with different social media platforms and just watching how people react on social media, they react to the stuff like we had an episode with Doe, and he said they react to the stuff with the season. Like, they like to, it sound bad, but people kind of like to have that little craziness in there. Like, they like that little condescendingness in the to where it's like, okay, you throwing a little flair in there. Other than that, like, I see a lot of people just throw out a lot of information all the time, and like, people don't react to it.
They go by the wayside.
They don't get the likes.
But it's just like Jalen said, some people gonna just get left behind. You can't get everybody. You can try, but you ain't gonna get everybody.
Facts.
Everybody can't come.
Yeah, and like me personally, like when people ask me like how I really started getting better with money, I tell them like, hey, I grew up and I was working in high school. Like, I went to college with some bands, and I blew it all on sneakers, trying to be fashion forward. And one day my mom called me and was like, why you only got, a couple hundred in your account? And ever since that day, like, I just brightened up and I've been on, the upward trajectory. But, sometimes it takes you falling flat on your ass to really, turn things around. So.
Yeah, people think the only way for you to actually make it is to, just read and not get your hands dirty. I've taken a bunch of losses. I just kept on learning from each loss. You got some people who, look, in terms of money, I had times where as soon as I got some money in my hands, I'm thinking, okay, what I'm about to buy as far as fresh new fit, where I'm about to go, see what's popping in the city. I was that guy. But we all had a point in time where it's like, yo, we got enlightened. And instead of us just saying, okay, that's just them, that's impossible, we say, you know what, let me actually make a change. And this is where we at now.
Yo, Tobe will tell you, like in Baltimore, they have like 40, 50 Ralph Lauren shirts in their closet, 7 for All Mankind jeans, they $200 a pop. Back in the day, True Religions, they was $200-$300 a pop. You know what I'm saying? Like Air Max 95s, $150, $160 a pop. All that crazy stuff, like you said. And you going out, so now you buying shots, you trying to impress a lady, so now you buy a bottle. Like, it was all nonsense. But, thankfully, we have, corrected that mindset. And now we're basically like a living, proof that you can change your life around. You know what I mean? Like, honestly, it could take a year. Like, you can change life around in 1 year, honestly, now. Especially with, like, we're in the information era. Like, you can get so many certifications in, 5-6 months. You know what I mean? So right now, it's really no excuse, honestly. It's like y'all said, either you just not built for it or you bullshitting.
I love that shit.
You ain't built for it or you bullshit.
That's the name of this episode, damn it.
You know what I mean? The corporate code can smack Black Wealth Renaissance away.
Podcast. Yeah, most definitely.
Let's say Baltimore to West Texas. Yeah,
I love it. Everything in between, baby. So look, man, with that being said, we're gonna wrap this podcast up, bro. I just want to say, man, I had fun tonight. Thank you guys for coming on, bro. Thank you for allowing us to share with y'all, man.
It's been dope.
Yeah, can't look forward to working together again, man.
Hey, I had a lot of fun. My bottle almost done. I had this little bottle of vodka. I'm having a good time, man. I'm thankful for you guys inviting me on the podcast.
And I told Toby too. I said the next networking event he got to come out.
Hey,
man.
Next
hey,
network.
hold me to that. Hold me to that.
Thanks. Well, like they say, once they open up outside again, we're gonna make this happen, man.
Yeah.
Hey, and David, you ain't getting by, you too.
Yeah,
you in Sacramento. Yeah, I got you.
I'm in that head first. I was mad I ain't go to Sacramento, man.
Definitely. So look here, for the Corporate Koga Smack listeners, can y'all just drop y'all social media pages and any websites y'all want to drop, you know what I mean, that they can check y'all out at?
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter.
Who is me? It's for y'all.
My bad. Oh, this is David Bellard. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at David Goliath. It's a little different on both, but if you type in David Bellard, you can find both. That's mine.
Jalen, me. You can find me on Instagram at I Transcend You, and you can find me on Twitter at Jim Gives No Fucks. I'll type in the Ignorant Entrepreneur and you'll find me.
The Ignorant Entrepreneur. This is Kelly. You can find me on Twitter at Educated4Wealth. Educated, the number 4 Wealth. Also on Black Wealth Renaissance. Follow us on Twitter, BWR_movement, and on IG at blackwealthrenaissance.com.
What's good, y'all? It's your boy Jared. You can follow me on Instagram at Spiller_solutions. And on Twitter, I'm Uncle Spiller. So you can follow me on either one of those.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie though, Kelly, let me tell y'all can't see it right now, but he got a mic and it's like he reporting live from like South by Southwest. You know what I'm saying? Like, thank y'all for tuning into my segment, you know what I mean? Got Sauce Walker here, David.
Chill out, man. Y'all gonna stop calling me soft, bro.
Oh man. But on our end though, Josh Ave, Josh D Lifestyle on Twitter and Instagram, you know, it's a lifestyle. So check in.
Yes, sir. This your boy Tobe. You can find me at Long Live Tobe, Long Live TOBE on Twitter, Instagram. I also have a blog, longlivetobe.com. Or you could tap in with me at btoconsult.com. That's where I do financial consultations for individuals or small entities. However you find me, I'll be sure to reach back out to you and we can chop it up about whatever.
Sure.
Most definitely. We just want to say thank you to all the podcast listeners. Thank you for everybody for tuning in. We hope y'all enjoyed this episode. Y'all be on the lookout for more from us. It's cross collab, man.
Yeah, it's the first time, you know, we're gonna do this again. Gotta do this again.
Hey, if the first time went like this, I mean, it's only up from here.
We gotta do a post-Rona show.
Hey, I like that.
I'm down with that.
Post-Rona.
Well, shit. On that note, everybody, this is Black Wealth Renaissance and Corporate Koga Smack.
Sure.
Signing out.
Peace.
Hey, I got money on my mind. I'm just trying to get some dough. I ain't picking up my line unless it's money on the phone. Gotta get it on the daily. All I want is dubs. You know what I'm on. I've been chasing after paper. All I know is run money marathons. I got money on my mind. I'm just trying to get some dough. I ain't picking up my line unless it's money on the phone. Gotta get it on the daily. All I want is dubs. You know what I'm on. I've been chasing after paper. All I know is run money marathons.
Mobile phone companies say they offer home internet. But if their internet comes from a cell phone network, you should know. It's just phone internet, not home internet. Keep your home up to speed with Cox. Cox Internet is faster and has more reliable download speeds than 5G home internet. Cox is the real home internet you're looking for. Based on Cox analysis of Ookla speed test intelligence data Q3 2022 and Cox serviceable areas, visit cox.com/internet for details.
McDonald's has entered a Minecraft movie universe, and Grimace, Birdie, and Hamburglar just spawned as new collectibles in the overworld. Now for a limited time, you can get one of 6 McDonald's collectibles when you order a Minecraft movie meal. With your choice of Big Mac or 10-piece chicken McNuggets with spicy nether flame sauce. Available now in a biome near you. Oh, and at your local McDonald's. At participating McDonald's for a limited time. A Minecraft movie only in theaters.